Hello and welcome to High or Lows, a 5th ed Dungeons & Dragons adventure set in the world of Taraz. I'm Philip Martin, your Dungeon Master, and with me is Lizzie McPherson.
Hey, lovelies.
Next up is Daniel Fletcher.
Well, hello there.
And we've got Laurie Crawford.
Hello, hello.
And last for tonight is Ash Mireya.
Hey.
Unfortunately, Mimbo Wang is still away this week, but we hope that he will be back with us soon. Previously on High or Lows, we began the episode right after the crew had calmed down a zombie threat. A rabblesome crowd had appeared, composing largely of denizens from the east of Homestead, who demanded to know what had transpired. Some members of the town's guard were already present, but they were overpowered by this group. They were able to hold back the crowd until their leaders arrived. But once Commander Marjorie had arrived, she was able to calm down the crowd, but demanded they accompany her to the office for questioning. This did irk Gregory Belmont, who is the patriarch of one of the main 4 families of Eastern Homestead, but he did allow them to leave with their commander. Once they were in Marjorie's office, she proceeded to question the group on their journey to Homestead and requested several tasks from them after getting intelligence about their journey here, including the tasks were killing spiders in the underground forest and eventually dealing with the Oasis leadership. She mentioned 3 potential lumber camps which had been abandoned out in the forest, which the group might thought garrisoning would be a good idea, and she promised to introduce them to the main lumberjack and mushroom forest guide Bandan Sharpax in the morning, who could act as their guide. And then after discussing this and the other things, the group were dismissed back to the town. Throughout all this time, Chuck has been absent since the aftermath of the zombie rampage, and this is where we will begin. You guys are led outside of this sort of main barracks of the town. To the north, you have the church where you met Inari. Right below you is sort of the prison lockup area, and then below that you've got the tavern.
And it's starting to get late afternoon, or from what we can tell.
Yeah, it's generally you spent about an hour or so in Commander's office, and so yeah, it would be getting towards evening, essentially dusk.
Well, do we head back to the tavern, or do we have any other matters to attend to?
Do we know where Chuck is? Or where he's disappeared to?
Yeah, he'll show up.
He's probably keeping a low profile after the last encounter.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me.
We still don't know if he was behind it or not. He's my main suspect.
It does sound a bit suspicious that it did happen directly after he went over there, but I won't blame him until we know.
Disappeared afterwards too.
Innocent until proven guilty, Tweak.
Is that how it goes?
Normally.
The goblins had it the completely different other way around.
As did virtue, for that matter. But you know what? Probably don't remember that, Thistle.
No, I don't.
So, any suggestions, or just straight to the tavern?
I wouldn't mind relaxing a little bit. I just got inundated with so much information. It's just like an overload.
You still planning to teach your class?
Yes, no one's actually gotten back to me about that.
Well, that is if we have time. Sounds like Marjorie wants us out as soon as possible.
So we're going to be taking orders from her now?
No, I wouldn't say orders. Expanding this town helps you in the long run anyways, Tweak.
Well, it helps all of us.
Well, certainly, but especially if you have dreams of the trade network that you've been conspiring about.
It just makes sense, doesn't it? To connect resources, and obviously they're quite isolated, and a small term, it makes a big impact on their clan.
Oh, definitely. And having a secure source of, well, what you would call lumber is definitely good for everyone.
So what's the plan? Are we going to sort of clear some of those spiders and capture some of the garrisons, or
At least do the first one, see how it goes. Like if it's a bit of a cakewalk, then yeah, definitely.
Is this conversation happening outside of the barracks or a walk and talk or
I think walk and talk.
and talk?
Tavern.
cool? At this point, you reach the tavern. It's not far.
Well, let's go grab a drink.
Is it Thistle Shout?
I didn't know that it was.
Yeah, let's go with that.
I don't know if I even have any coin on me.
I don't know if we've even paid for anything yet.
You were told that you had essentially a week's room and board paid for. Comped as new arrivals.
Let's just put it on Chuck's bill.
I second that. He's got us into this trouble.
Yes, let's put the free drinks that have already been paid for on Chuck's bill. Let's go. Well, we could go in and go up to the bar, and I'll order one of those mushroomy, beery kind of things.
That was like a mushroomy coffee. I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, no, that's right. It was the rhubarb.
Yeah, so
wine
they
or
have rhubarb wine. They have various vegetable wines.
I'll get rhubarb wine for everyone and go and follow them back if they've grabbed a seat.
Yeah. Allow me hand you 4 rhubarb wines.
Thank you. Thank
Or
you.
I think she would just hand you a bottle and 4 glasses.
Makes more sense. I'm guessing they keep those bottles quite safe because it's hard to replace those.
Yeah, you're definitely asked to respect the items, and it's more cups than and the bottles you see are all a mismatch of things. They're not uniform. They're very rustic. You're given a relatively large one for the 4 of you. It should be at least a couple of cups each.
You know, I'm not that thirsty, so you can have my cup tweak.
Oh, give it a drink. You haven't confirmed if you can drink it or not.
I'm not
already
thirsty.
have it in my hands.
I knew I can always rely on you.
Is Tweak double parked right now?
Or did
Drink is double parked.
I pour? Oh no, yeah. I was just wondering if I poured Thistles first. If she offered hers to Tweak, I just wouldn't pour Tweak one.
I think with Tweak's amazing sleight of hand skills, he's just double parked before anyone even saw what happened.
I don't know. But yeah, fair enough. I'll just skip him next round.
I might be thirsty next round.
Doesn't matter.
Now that you're in the tavern, you see the band is setting up. You see the Minotaur and Satyr you met before, as well as a cat-like humanoid, all setting up.
If it's on the house, I'm going to get myself a serpent venom.
Not sure they are. I do remember her saying that next time you'll have to pay.
If you're gonna ask, you can ask, or you might have to offer something, but you can always ask.
How many coppers for one of those serpent venoms?
Oh, I'll give you a round for free today after the events. I don't know what spooked those zombies, but from all accounts, you did more than your fair share as new arrivals. So we appreciate that, and you can have another round for your group. We'll send it over.
Appreciate it.
The serpent venom comes out of like barrels and is actually poured into things. There's no bottles of that per se, although it could be put into a bottle. You also see a group of children eating dinner. There's about a dozen of them. These seem to be older children, sort of 14 and above. Well, actually more like 12 and above, as opposed to smaller, younger children. There are a few other patrons around. You could give you perception checks if you want to see, like, to pick up any additional detail as well.
18 here.
18. You hear someone practicing singing from a back room.
Also, do we see that Sognak, I think it is?
Shognak? No, he does not appear to be here. You do not see a gnome.
Fair enough. Missed him then. Oh, I'm just going to kind of relax and absorb the atmosphere and have a few drinks and not do much else, I suppose, for the night.
Yeah, you do see.
hear someone singing? Do we see them? The singer?
No, that's coming from behind a back room. I say if you get 15 or above, you would hear that. Otherwise, like between this testing of between the Minotaur hitting drums to practice them and to make sure they can be heard, you can't hear the singer. The Minotaur seems to be setting up an eclectic mix of different drums, including various things that look like cowbell.
I rolled 4. So
You
I'm
know, it's-
deep in my drink.
Yeah, distracted by the children and the band. You do see Ilakas and Maxori, the half-elf and tiefling that were that you met at when you came in and you took on those undead shambling mounds. They're having a drink, and they sort of nod to you as you come in.
And I'll bring the venoms back to the table.
Hey, Tweet, do you know what would make my day?
What's that?
Seeing you sing. I have a feeling you've got a beautiful voice.
I don't know what gave you that impression.
I don't know. It's just a sense that I'm getting from you.
How about you let the professionals do it and you stop stirring shit, Thistle?
I'm not stirring.
Yeah,
I
you
like
are.
Tweak.
Everyone here knows you're stirring shit. Even Tweak knows you're stirring shit.
I will go into singing an old gnomish ballad I picked up as a child.
Give me a performance check.
12?
It's fine. It's the sort of caliber you'd hear at a pub anywhere across the world. It's
Oh,
moderately pleasant to the ears.
well, I gave it my best. What do you think of that?
It was very lovely.
A young girl comes over to you, it's a young woman, about 15, 16, comes over and offers you food. Basically got pot bowls of stew and also some rat fritters.
Take a bit of both.
Yes, I'm enjoying these rat fritters.
Yeah, she says you're supposed to dip the fritter into the stew and just sort of eat it that way, but there's also a spoon for when you run out of fritter.
Okay, I'll give that a go.
So apparently these are on the tavern. I suggest you drink up. Might have a long one tomorrow.
Oh, Thistle, I think you've got to at least try this one. Let's have a toast to the successful journey to Homestead and to future endeavors.
All right, I'll try it.
You also brought a jug of water. Just told it's clean water.
Yep, so I definitely have one. Do we have to roll anything for this?
It's the serpent venom. Oh yeah, you can do me a con save if you're having wine and that. Messages should be fine, I'm sure.
Yeah, 22.
Yeah. It's got a nice kick to it, but fine.
It's a 10 for me. So I'm a bit numb in the mouth.
At 10, you're able to keep it down, but you're having obvious discomfort this time around.
I got a 16.
Yeah, I'd say your DC is a bit harder. It burns and it feels odd. It doesn't feel like you're drinking something. It just feels like you're putting liquid down a small pipe.
Okay.
5.
Yeah, so Tweak had already drunk a full glass of wine and
2 glasses.
well, half of the second when this came up. So then he had this, and he's just a small fellow. So you immediately feel the need to throw up. Tweak, what do you do?
I do the tactical vomit and put my head under the table and give it a quick bath under the seat.
Okay, who's sitting next to Tweak?
Not me. I'd be in between
No, you
Baracus
are.
and
Because you passed him the drink. You are definitely next to him.
Grace.
I think you probably would be. Give me a dexterity save
I get it.
with disadvantage.
Do I get an attack roll?
No.
Improvised weapon, vomit.
19.
With disadvantage?
Oh, sorry. Only
Yeah,
did
you're
one.
sitting down right next to him.
Yeah. 8.
Yeah, okay. You don't get too much vomit in your fur, but you definitely have a bit of vomit on like the bottom of your left leg.
Grace.
It's a splash back. Sorry about that, Thistle.
It's alright. I know you didn't mean it.
This doesn't make anything easier for Baracus, Ash. As this happens, you see Ilikas and Maxori laugh a little bit and wander over to you and say, "Well, hello there. Heard you've had a very eventful day."
It's been fun. Can't wait to snooze tonight though.
I can't even really imagine having 2 big fights like that in a day, but all of a sudden you guys come and things are getting very interesting. We were called in to sort of help control things, but we didn't get to the zombie stuff until almost the very end of it because we were on the outside.
As fun as it was, they weren't big fights. The way here was so much worse.
The results are quite easy to see. Slap my hand on Quick's back.
Ilika speaks up and says, "If that's true, that doesn't bode well. I mean, I only got here about less than 6 months ago, close to that though, and it wasn't that difficult when I was coming. There's like something's changed to make it much more dangerous."
Well, I'm guessing you came from the eastern side, though.
The west, you mean?
The western, yeah.
I came through the forest. Orion guided me through.
Do you have any idea of what that might be?
Well, I mean, Oasis, obviously, they seem to be getting more organized, and since they're closer to where most people come in, Max Ori speaks up and says, yeah, but also just like the spiders just seem to have multiplied a lot, and because I don't think they say that they're having an alliance with the people of Oasis, so I don't see how that would happen, but
It wouldn't surprise me. On the way here, we were jumped by Oasis, and they seemed to have spiders under their command.
yeah, that's not good at all. We can't. If that's the case, we can't fight both of them at the same time. And we need the forest for so many things, and the spiders have such a tactical advantage there with their webs and their ability to climb. If they're also supported by some of the soldiers out of Oasis, because I've heard they've got some good fighters.
Marge wanted us to go out and kind of recapture some of the old garrisons. We're considering doing it. It sounds like it might be a good idea.
Yeah, the old camps. Yeah, no, I heard we hadn't been able to claim those for a while. That explains why supplies have been getting a little bit tight.
Do you know the mushroom forest well? Or well enough?
Not really. We're mostly just on guard duty here. We're a bit of homebodies. We just don't really like to go out too much.
I was just more of a general question you might be able to answer. If we were to burn up the webs, would the mushrooms themselves burn up, you reckon, or are they too moist?
Let me roll a couple of nature checks for them. It'd probably be okay. Like, you know how some forests like to be burned? Promotes regrowth? Like, I think nature has a way of dealing with these things.
Yeah, good point. Well, we're meeting with Banter tomorrow, so he might have a bit of knowledge on that too.
But you probably want to, like, control it as much as you possibly can. You know, fire in general is a destructive force, and if it gets out of control, could be not good.
True.
I've heard there's various things living out there, not just spiders.
Really? We've only really ran into the spiders and, well, this weird zombie goblin that had zombies under his command, but other than him.
Oh, they said there's lots of stuff out there. Like, there's a goblin tribe down south, but they don't really like us to go there. They'll fire a warning shot, but after a couple of those, third one won't be a warning.
Maybe we can parlay with them. Our resident gnome here is quite fluent in goblin.
That I am.
Maxori speaks up and says, I've heard a rumor that there's a part of the mushroom forest where the mushrooms are alive.
Interesting.
Like, there's a little cave somewhere down south, I think. It's the sort of thing I've heard about a couple of people that stumbled upon it and were able to get away.
Might your powers cover communing, talking to these mushrooms?
Possibly. I haven't really worked too much onto the extent of my abilities.
Just pulling at straws here, but maybe it's got something to do with, well, you.
Maybe they think you're like a distant cousin or something. They might mistake you for a family.
It might be worth checking out. Do you know where, like, kind of whereabouts it is?
All I've heard was it's somewhere towards the south in a cave.
Okay.
So maybe like I would like around the edges of things, but like it could be like caves work in weird ways. Could be down, probably not up.
Okay.
It's just like I've heard it. The only reason I'm telling you is because I have heard it from two separate people, but one person might just be repeating something that they heard from someone else. And like it gets weird. Like some people did come here on their own and just sort of were able to somehow stumble into town. So, and some people spent weeks in there and just somehow survived. Some of them were about as some of the stronger people in town, but some of them, it sort of broke them.
Well, we'll keep an eye out when we're clearing out the forest a bit.
Yeah, they say there's other tribes around, but I mean, obviously you got the kobolds. I think that they've just sort of been breeding a lot and just getting a little bit more territorial about their own space. Probably also has to do with the whole rising up and floating thing, because before that there was more ability to expand to the sides, and now everyone has to expand. Well, there's like a limitation on how far people can go, right?
Yeah, that does make sense. From a, like, is the mushroom forest almost like in the center of the island, or is it kind of off to one of the sides, or just kind of curious?
We all figure it's pretty much like south of center. We're sort of in like the southeast part or more east southeast part of the whole thing. Mid-low, I think. That's what. Yeah, I don't really. Like I say, I don't really know the geography of this place that well. I don't do a lot of work outside of here.
No, I mean, any information's great. You've given us a few leads to go on, anyways.
At this point in time, you do see three guys, kind of tough-looking guys, big, strong, and they seem to sort of be keeping an eye on you. They're not really making a big secret of it. But they do just sort of sit down across the way from you. But you notice like there's always at least one or two of them, if not three of them, with like eyes glancing at you.
Can I do a perception check on them to see if they're trying to suss out any one of us in particular?
Sure.
$15.
Not really. They're just looking at you. Yeah, they don't seem to be interested in any one of you in particular. Maybe the bigger ones, like maybe to Brackus to a certain extent, and yourself a little bit as well.
If they're within 20 feet, I'd look at them, give them a wink, blow them a kiss.
And I would stare at the one that keeps looking over the most.
I don't think they would be within 20 feet. They're probably about 30 feet away. But you would have heard them stomp their boots and come in.
Oh, that's right. I'm just ignoring them then.
I'd like to talk to them. So I'll get up from the table, find a seat nearby, and I sit myself down at their table.
Oh, can we help you there, love?
I saw that you were looking at my friends and I'd like to get to know you. We already know quite a few people here already.
All right. We're just keeping an eye on newcomers.
So what do you do here?
I just work over for the farmers on the east side. Odd jobs here and that.
Okay. What's your name?
Oh, my name's John.
That's a funny name.
Why is it a funny name?
We used to call the shitter John. I used to say, we're going to the John. That would mean I was going to go to the shitter.
Oh, fair enough then. Yeah, did you walk over with Thistle, or are you yelling this from across the bar?
I'm like stumbling over there.
While they're gone, I just pour myself and Brackus another drink.
Yeah, Illicus and Max always sort of take their leave and just say, we'll just be having a quiet drink over there. If you have any more questions for us. It's been a bit of a day.
Cheers, guys. Relax.
So, are you a betting man? How long do you think it'll take those two to get into some shit?
Can I bet 3 seconds ago?
I'll take that bet.
So I suppose we're just you're watching. I'm more just keeping an ear out what happens to them. But yeah, let's go back to them, I suppose.
Well, you look like a little fella that just doesn't know how to handle his drink. That's what I see. Maybe you should go back and over there and sit down. But better yet, maybe it's time for you to go to bed.
Are you going to take me to bed, John?
If you pass out, I'm happy to carry her, but it looks like she's big enough.
Oh, he prefers the male company.
I've got a wife, so I'm fine.
So why were you looking at us, John?
As I said, just keeping an eye on the new people, making sure you're not getting up in any trouble.
So what's the next job that you've got?
This is, well, Next job will probably just have to be cleaning up in the farm after the mess you fellas made today.
Don't see it as making a mess. We try to help.
Oh, from where we're sitting, it looks like a hell of a mess over there. We've got a couple of friends to bury as well.
I don't remember seeing you coming over and helping John.
Well, I was there. You must have missed me.
Insight check.
Sure, you can insight check.
Did John have anything to do with what happened with the zombies?
I'd say yours is a disadvantage though, because you're quite far away, Laurie.
Boo. Only 7 then.
So where were you when all the zombies started to do that zombie thing?
We were roping them up one by one, doing our best. We don't have special powers like you lot. We don't have magic or wings or anything like that.
Sounds like you owe us a bit of a thank you.
Well, we're still not sure what caused the zombies to go all AWOL like that. We're trying to figure out that ourselves, you know?
By sitting here and drinking yourself stupid?
Yeah, that's how we're gonna figure it out. You guys can insight check if you want.
Okay. 18?
Yeah, that's like they're laughing that you think that that's their plan. They're laughing that you insinuate that. They're definitely doing something else to investigate.
13.
Yeah, you would get all that. You would get that they are Thistle. There's like an undertone of like they are kind of laughing at you, like they've actually got the upper hand here. There might be something that they know that you don't know.
Just trying to think. The best way to handle this. All right. What if, John, what if my friends and I made a deal with you? You tell us why you're really here, and we'll try to help you in what you're trying to achieve.
I don't really think we need your help very much. I think we got everything sorted. And then you do notice that the three of them do sort of laugh at that. They just take a bit of like a sneaker. Like everyone sort of notices this.
Tweak, if you want to do something batshit crazy, I give you permission to, and I whisper that into Tweak's ear.
You would have to get very low to do that.
I would.
Okay. Well, I think it's best if you all just have a quiet night, and once you're in bed, we'll know that you're not up to any shenanigans tonight.
As long as you come kiss me and tuck me into bed, Johnny boy.
Look, you're the ugliest gnome I've ever seen, and I've only seen 3 down here at least. But you're the most goblin-like looking gnome I've ever seen, and even if I was into gnomes, I wouldn't be into you.
I glare at him. See you around, Johnny boy. And I'll walk back to my seat.
I follow Tweak.
Yeah, you go back to the table.
Yep.
Well, you guys are in a booth. That's why it was so hard for you to dodge the vomit.
Okay.
Is there a drink on the table for me?
Probably a quarter of a glass of wine left there, unless you brought it with you.
I would have brought that with me.
Yeah. You pour yourself another bottle or another glass.
Oh, yeah.
So, what did your clearly superior investigatory skills come up?
There's sus.
Yeah.
Yeah. I reckon they're into something nefarious.
Do we need to watch our backs more than we have been?
Probably.
I would.
I think it would be good to know where Chuck is, really. I'm more worried about him than us.
Hmm.
Well,
Or at least leave a message of sorts.
At some point in the last 15 minutes, the band all disappeared into the back room after setting up. And the children are packing, finishing their meal. They were brought out some very basic sweets.
I line up for one.
You'd be brought a tray of sweets. They're small rhubarb tarts.
Sounds yum.
Well, we should probably get some rest. I think we've made enough enemies for this evening.
Although, Tweak, if you want to roll a stealth check with disadvantage to try to get an extra treat, I'll allow it.
Oh, yeah. Sleight of hand or stealth?
It depends. Sleight of stealth if you're trying to line up with the kids and pretend you're a kid. Sleight of hand if you're trying to steal one from a kid.
I think it'd be funny if I just go to the front of the line, take one, and then try to get back into the line without being seen.
You can also try both. You can try stealth first, and then if you want a third one, you can sleight of hand it.
14 for stealth.
Let's see. I'm just going to roll one dice. You see one of the teenage kids says, "Hey, you're not a kid. Get out of line."
Alrighty then. You know your stuff, kid.
You're obviously an old man. Old man.
Am I near the lollies at this stage?
Yeah.
I'll try to pocket a few while I'm there.
Five man, sure. So this you're just trying to pocket a few.
14.
You see a big green half orc come stand over you and say, "Hey, get out of there, little one."
Oh, I know a discerning eye when I see one. And I scurry back to the table with a sad look on my face.
I'll lean over to Alamia when she passes by next time.
Lamia is mostly behind the bar. You basically have two older orphans, I'd say, about 16, 15 years old. And you get to know that their names are Murray and Lynette.
Mhm.
They're both human.
Yeah, when one of them passes by.
Yes. What can I get you?
We're in and out of town. We'll be for the next couple of days. If you do see the young chap that has been journeying with us, just tell him of our whereabouts, and generally we'll be staying around here.
Okay, I don't know who you mean, but I suppose I'll go tell Alamia.
The name's Chuck.
Chuck. Okay, I'll let her know right now. You see them go over and speak to Alamia. Alamia beckons Arak over as well. They just sort of have a quick debrief. As they're chatting, you see 4 people come out of the back room. They are led by a pale, gray-skinned, tall, lean man with a mohawk and lots of piercings in very stylized leathers with various sort of accoutrements, studs, various things. He's carrying a lute. Behind him, you see a tabaxi or a cat human. I don't know if anyone did a check on this one. Oh no, you know tabaxi. And this one is a Female tabaxi, she's carrying another lute, but this one seems to be a bit bigger, larger instrument. And you also see followed by, after that is the satyr that you met before, your Nana Twinklehoofs. And finally, you see the larger Minotaur coming out, holding a couple of sticks.
Well, before they start, I'll empty whatever's left in the bottle and in our glasses and go grab another.
Cool. You see all the teenagers getting really excited. All the like younger orphans squealing for the band. They seem to hold them in very high regard. You also see the two waitstaff looking pretty excited, as well as the two guards you met that we're talking to earlier. Most people seem excited about the band. Not the three guys that you were talking to, John and his two mates. They don't seem that phased by the band, but everyone else seems to be into it. And seems to be clapping. I would say one of John's mates starts clapping and then is sort of looked at, just sort of told to stop. But the tall, skinny musician comes out and says, "Right, my name is Skathan Cage, and we are here to blow your socks off. And a 1, and a 2, and a 1, 2, 3, 4." And they start playing some music. I'm gonna roll to see how good it is. It's really fucking good. This is some of the best music you have ever heard. It is fast and it is intense and it is more noisy than you've heard. And these kids are getting rowdy, just jumping around, squealing, getting real energetic. But it is some of the best music you've ever heard.
I'm going to go for a stage dive.
Sure, give me an acrobatics check.
How many people actually catch him and how many people step away?
He's a little gnome.
16.
Okay. Yeah, a couple of kids grab you and make sure you don't fall. And they pass you along for a little while. You get passed around the crowd for a little bit. And this starts a trend. Some of the other kids start doing it as well.
Bad influence.
He's living life.
Yeah. As a bad influence.
At this point in time, you see another person enter the tavern. The Tap Bunkhouse, I should say. This is a older but still young teenager, young woman, older teenager. Light-haired, similar features in some regards to the way Chuck looks, with sort of white eyes and mildly angelic features. And they sort of look around the tavern. They look all around. They clock the three guys, but then clock your group, and try to make their way through the crowd. Not very well, sort of trying to hide and blend into the crowd, but you just know they're not doing a very good job. But they make their way over to you, and she says, "Hi, are you Chuck's friends?"
Yeah, that'd be us.
Right. I think he might be in trouble.
Yep, we kind of guessed as much. What did he do this time?
After the whole thing with the zombies, he got separated. And then I didn't see it happen, but I don't see what happened exactly, but I saw someone getting taken away with a hood over their head, and they were being held by three guys. And I think that he's been taken to question or interrogated or something by probably the Belmonts.
And I'm guessing those three are from the Belmonts too?
Yeah, they definitely work for the Belmonts.
Yeah.
I can't really be seen telling you all this. So I kind of need to go because I work for one of the four families, but I don't want to see Chuck getting hurt.
Okay, go. I'll try and make a distraction.
What do you do?
I'm going to walk up to the group of three, just be like, look, I know you're here observing us. I can't let you not have as much drinks as we're having because that's a bit unfair. So have the rest of this tankard. I'm sure you guys will enjoy it.
We don't need your drinks, friend. We're perfectly capable of getting our own drinks in this place.
Oh, I'm sure you are. Well, I insist. I'd at least have one with me.
Give me a persuasion roll.
Yeah, straight persuasion roll. That would be a 9. Not terrible for a straight roll.
Okay. You see that Leola does seem to make a better play of getting out unseen. And says, I don't think we want to drink with you, mate. I reckon you can just go back to your side of the tavern.
I don't think there is any side to the tavern.
I mean, bad enough we have to hear this racket.
No, lighten up. Oh, well, maybe next time.
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not, but I'm at least trying to be polite, unlike you assholes. And I walk off.
Fair.
Head back to the table and be like, yep, I picked it. I thought he was going to be in shit.
Yeah, so the three of them are sort of talking a little bit more animatedly after you leave them. But they're sort of talking in like hushed, animated tones. So you can't hear what they're saying above the music.
From what we saw of the rooms, was there like a window way out?
High or lows?
Hi.
Yes, there was windows in both, as well as chimneys that were like big enough to squeeze through. It would be a squeeze. I would say everyone but Thistle would be able to squeeze through, although Brax probably have to de-armor.
Oh,
Or windows.
how do we want to go about it? If we're
I
going to
roll-
rescue him tonight,
And I gave you that many options because I rolled 100.
there you go.
So yes, there's two ways out.
Do we want to pretend to go to bed or something and sneak out the windows?
Yeah, let's keep a track on these jackasses and try to find our way outside of the rooms and out to the Belmonts.
The band is still playing, so there is a bit of a hubbub. Kids are being rowdy in the main area. Like their main sort of double big table in the middle of the room gets cleared away for the band.
Twig started like a circle pit, or is trying to do like a circle pit in the middle of the mosh.
Give me a persuasion roll to achieve this. And then we'll see from there whether people even give you space to do this.
5.
Yeah, you're just too small, and people just aren't giving you space to do what you want. They're like, no, everyone's diving now. We need to close up and just jump as a group. So there's no time for space. There's no space for space.
Can I just go and scoop him up?
You can. It would be an athletics check versus if it's contested. You can, but if Tweak doesn't want to, if he can roll, it would be contested check.
Come on, Tweak. We've got business. And I'm tired.
That band is kick ass.
You've never heard anything like it with the aggressive vocals. 4-person bands in themselves are quite rare. There's not even that many up in Virtue. There'd be one big Virtue orchestra and a few duos, maybe 1 or 2 bands like this.
Is the band selling any merchandise or?
No, there does not seem to be any sort of merchandise or anything. Give me an insight check.
8?
Yeah, this is no merchandise. They seem into their playing.
All right, let's go.
Yeah, the band is essentially Skaith and Cage with these Tabaxi and Satir giving backup vocals, the Minotaur slapping hard on the drums, double strings with Skathan and the Tabaxi, and the Satir like doing backup wind instruments, mostly like flute and different horns. It's a sight to behold. Definitely the music I've got running in this is not doing it justice. But I rolled an 18, so it's good.
Well, I guess you should say goodnight to your mate there, Tweak, and let's go hit the hay.
Just as I'm going out the door, I'm like, "Fuck you, Johnny!"
Go to bed, little boy.
Yeah.
So you are led to your rooms. You have 2 rooms. They both have fireplaces. I will say that it's actually a shared fireplace. Again, I rolled really well on that 100. So it's like one of those shared fireplaces where you can kind of see through to each other's room through the fireplace. So it's a shared chimney as well.
Yeah, makes sense.
But you have separate windows.
Maybe, Baracus, you go with Thistle to give her a hand getting down.
We'll say give me perception rolls. Other than Callum, give me perception rolls.
21.
Yeah, Thistle, you did see John's 2 mates get up to leave towards the door after you went to your rooms.
Okay.
And you did see John keeping an eye on you as you were walking towards your rooms.
I'm going to take no light in and just kind of slightly peer out the window and try to get a beat on them.
Sure, give me a perception check.
Ooh, it's not great. It's a 3.
You don't see anyone out there.
Goes to the clue.
You see your windows specifically go out to the northern side. You do see off in the distance, you see probably about 80 feet away, you see a guard outside the lockup. But they're just standing there. From earlier today, you were told there's no one in the lockup.
I think I might have found where Chuck could have gotten himself to, but I can't be sure. There's a guard out there.
Oh, there's been a guard out there all day, even though you were told there's no one in there.
And that girl said the Belmonts had him, so they'd be on the other side of the river.
I think we ought to use the cover of night and try to get out to there in the farm. Might have to de-shield for this one. De-armor.
Oh, while we were in the tavern, I'm assuming that was essentially a short rest, or at least a couple.
Yeah, you can take a short rest if you want.
Yeah, cool, because I am definitely not full health.
I'd say because you weren't specifically tending to wounds and stuff, so I'd say just one short rest.
Cool. No, that's all right. I had a second wind as well, so I can do that before I do it.
Yeah, you would have taken that just sitting down.
Once again, out of hit die. Lol. But I am max health.
Yeah, I'm kind of ration mine.
I like to keep things interesting. What would you like to do?
Well, let's. How does it look going down the wall? Like the windows open, I'm assuming.
The windows open onto ground level. It would just be an easy.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I thought for some reason we're on the second.
I think you're just on ground level.
Well, that works well. I might turn to Thistle and just when you think the coast is clear, let us know and we'll go.
Yeah, no, they're dwarves. There's stairs down leading down to basement rooms. And you're on ground level. So you are on the top level, but that is ground level.
That makes more sense.
You're told there's basically a room below, a level below of rooms, and then a level below, which is like cellars.
Okay. Now, I use this time to tell the party about how I saw 2 of John's friends leave when we left the main area to our rooms. So, going by that, I don't think we should leave straight away.
Yeah, not a bad idea. maybe wait half an hour, an hour.
Yeah, and can't do that telepathic link with you guys. I need to check for that.
You also did
Oh.
clock that there was a back door at the end of the hallway with the rooms. There is a back door leaving this whole building.
Yeah, but there's a good chance that those blokes will be keeping an eye on the back door as well.
Maybe not. They seem kind of stupid.
Yeah, just because someone's dim-witted doesn't mean that they're like they don't think like this. I mean, I'm not the smartest here.
Mhm. Anyways, how long do you want to wait? And I mean, if you want, nah. Were you just gonna go spidery again?
Yeah, I was. Because they haven't seen me do my spider shit or transform into anything. They just know me as what I look like now.
Yeah, but a big old spider crawling through the area, that's a bit more sus than people.
Mm.
I'd say it's about 8 p.m. now. The lights from the bioluminescent mushrooms and fungi is starting to recede a little bit. So it's essentially there's a dim light over most of the town, unless there's another, like a torch or a candle or something that's actually giving a higher level of light. The bioluminescence is all becoming dim light.
Mm.
So there are patches of pure darkness because those patches of bioluminescent fungi aren't everywhere, but there is still a dim light over most of the town.
So because Chuck's not here, you can't really talk to us. How about
Yeah.
hold one leg up for stop, 2 legs up for yes, 3 legs up for no.
So 1 up for stop, 2 for go.
2 for yes, but 2 for go, that's actually better. And then 3 for yes, 4 for no.
3 for yes, 4 for no. All right. All right then. Well, I'm gonna do some channel my inner druid magic, and I'll wild shape into a spider.
Cool. Yeah, so if you guys want to take another short rest before you leave, wait an hour, have another short rest, that's something you could do.
Actually, that's not a bad idea because it gets Thistleback her form and she stays in it.
I'll do that.
What kind of spider are you turning into? Just a normal spider?
I'm just looking at my wild shape.
Or the wolf spider?
I've got the giant wolf spider.
Yeah, so that's a medium-sized creature the size of a large dog.
Yep.
Yeah, because you could have just turned into a normal spider and, for the most part, just passed unseen. Slowly, but unseen.
That might be a better option. I'll do that.
Oh, it is. Yeah, as Phil said, it's very slow.
Oh,
You'd be going at like 10.
I'm gonna risk it and go giant. The speed might help me.
That's understandable. And so, what is your plan to get out of here? Window, chimney, like there is a fire in your fireplace, but you could let it die down over the course of an hour.
Well, we're having a short rest, so before we have our short rest, let's distinguish it,
No,
and then I'll.
definitely not,
Why?
because you want to make it look natural. I move the coals apart from each other and take off any fresh wood off. Just poke it away. Just kind of spread the fire out so it'll die out quicker.
Okay, give me a survival check, just for how well you do that.
That should be pretty good. 18.
Yeah, you do a pretty efficient job of doing that and making it look relatively natural, scout style.
And while you're at it, Thistle, maybe just keep an eye out through the window when it gets a bit darker. Well, are you Spidey yet, or are you person?
I'm Spidey, so I give you like a thumbs up with my
No,
legs.
3 legs.
Oh, 3 legs. Sorry.
Because spiders don't have thumbs.
Most things don't have thumbs.
Well, I do the Okay,
You can't.
yeah, it's fine. I can't.
This is why you have to do the
I'm
leg
trying
thing.
to think. Yeah, no. I was just trying to think, is there a way to be like a okay thing with the
Definitely not. Spider legs are pretty inflexible.
screw spider legs. So yeah, I put up the 3 for yes.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay. 6.
6, 6, 6, 6. 6 is your perception check.
Yeah, that was a shit roll.
Just checking that you did say 6. Yeah, okay. Roll again. No, actually, okay. So you're not sure, but you think you see another person sort of in the shadows, sort of just behind like a little bit of a rock. You think there might be someone sitting there, but you're not sure.
Okay.
Did you see anything?
I put up 3 legs.
What general direction?
I use my legs and direct it towards the rock that I see
It's just
through
off
the
a little.
window.
It's off to the left a little bit, away from the lockup, more towards what you've been told is the orphanage overflow. So you've been told that that's where the older teenagers, the kind that are in the show right now, is probably where they sleep. Not all of them, but some of them. They're probably the ones with privilege.
Okay.
Well, unless either of you two can see anything wrong with whatever that rock is, should we go?
I put up 4 legs.
Well, then, Brackus, Tweak, can you see what the hell that is? Because there's no chance in hell I will.
He's indicating no. Just waiting a moment.
Give me a second. 12.
12? Yeah, you see, it is definitely not a kid. It is definitely a large man.
There's a large man.
I'm going to start walking in a different direction.
Was there like a loo or like a toilet in the room or in our quarters?
Yeah, there is an outhouse just outside the back door. You've also been told that there is something down below in the cellar as well.
Because if there was one like actually in our quarters, I was going to point towards the loo, as in to say like, yeah, how we were making taking the piss out of our friend John's name earlier. So just to give the idea.
And did you leave the room, Brackus? Or like, how are you walking a different direction? Because we're kind of spying this from the room.
That is true. I'm going to use the quick doff feature of my armor, but I will kind of just hang back at the room, seeing Thistle put four legs up.
You're just going to take your armor off and wait in the room?
Yeah, correct. Nothing really.
Yeah. At this, or you can definitely clock that this person is hiding behind a rock. Just they're keeping an eye on your room. They're not necessarily the most attentive person, but they're keeping an eye on things.
Would the back door be out of their sight?
You suspect so. You suspect this person would have a hard time seeing the back door.
Or maybe if one of us were to stay here and kind of make it look like there's busy work happening in the rooms, and we all sneak out the back, just presuming that big man's still outside, or he's left rather.
Yeah, I might be best placed to do that, actually.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you probably are the least sneaky of the bunch of us. Hopefully, we won't be long. I suppose if we're not back in a couple of hours, maybe see if you can talk someone into coming with you and rescuing all of us.
Yeah, and I might have a spell or two up my sleeve to cover your getaway.
Oh, I look at Thistle and Tweak. You guys good to go?
For shits and giggles, I put up 5 fingers. Or 5
Yeah.
legs.
You should put up 8.
Play dead.
I mean, I could really do it to rest.
At this point, it would be about 9 p.m. You've had another short rest.
Come on, you've probably slept off a bit of the booze already.
Give me another Constitution save to see if you've thrown off the hangover. It would just be for you.
13.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you've mostly thrown off the effects of the alcohol. Only very specific things will I make you have disadvantage on. Not all things.
Oh, that could be bad. We've been in here a little bit, so I might open the door and has it started getting quiet in the inn?
High or lows?
Lows.
Yeah, it seemed like they were just doing a short set, or they're in an intermission. And you notice that some of the kids start shuffling back to their place. So the kids that were at the show start leaving the tavern, and through the window you can see them walking back, like in singles, it's not like in different groups. There was about a dozen kids.
But while they're going, this might be a good chance. Let's try and sneak out the back. Oh, Thistle, you're a spider. That's gonna be weird.
I drop down on my back, 8 legs in the air.
How big would she be if she kind of just curled her legs up a little bit and just made herself small?
I mean, carryable, but still big. Like that carrying a Labrador thing.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you could do it. Tweak could not. Tweak can ride. Also, you bringing your steel defender?
Yeah, my Steel Defender's with me.
Cool. So how would you like to proceed? Or you want to just do this next session?
Might as well get started. Through the back door while these kids are leaving. Hopefully that distracts that dude a little bit.
Okay. So how are you leaving through the back door?
Well, how far is the back door from our room?
Not far.
Okay, is it close enough that Thistle could just like make a mad dash and not be noticed too much?
Yeah, that's fine. Like leaving the building is fine.
Cool. Okay, then let's not necessarily head for a bridge, but head. Just trying to get the map in my head. The Belmont place, that's up a cliff, isn't it? Like it's on a raised area.
No, the Belmont place is on the ground. They're off, but you have to get across the river.
Yep. I think they'll be keeping an eye on the bridges, so let's avoid them and we'll try and sneak as much as we can.
Okay, give me a stealth check as you're leaving the building. All 3 of you. And Steel Defender.
Remember to guide it yourselves. 15 here.
Tweak got 12 and Steel Defender 7.
Okay.
14 for me.
Okay, and give me perception checks.
17 for Thistle.
16?
Okay, so as you're leaving through the back door, you hear in the outhouse what appears to be a large man having not the best time of it. You suspect that this is one of John's mates, and you just lucked out. And then you see the other one that was guarding the window, and you just wait because you know that they're there. You wait for a moment when they're distracted by the kids going back, and you dash around and are able to get to either the east side of the lockup or the east side of the tavern, which is near the waterfall. But both are close to the river.
Cool.
Where would you like to go? Where do you go for, the lockup or the tavern? Tavern is more south. The lockup is more more middle.
He's probably got his eyes more on the tavern itself, so probably the lockup.
Okay, yeah, you're able to do that with your stealth rolls. And that actually feels like a good place to, like, you're basically, you can, like, the river is about 40, 50 feet away from you. And you can see, well, again, it's dim light. So, but most of you either have dark vision or definitely don't have dark vision because you don't have normal vision. So yeah, we'll pick this up next time on the High or Lows podcast. That's it for this episode of the High or Lows podcast. If you'd like to get in touch, you can find us on Twitter at High or Lows with underscores between the words, or you can find me at Phoebster.
Thanks for listening to this episode. If you enjoyed listening, please leave us a 5-star rating and review, which is one of the best ways you can support us. You can also join the discussion on our Reddit and Facebook pages, or even our Discord server, and maybe play some games with us. Links can be found in the description below. Special thanks to Sirenscape for the background audio and Alex McPherson for providing the opening theme. I hope you can all join us next time as we continue on our adventure.